fail now. He won't. I've still got joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense, and I won't be going under. I'm not held by my own strength, 'cause I built my life on Jesus, and He's never let me down. He's faithful in every season, so why would He fail now? He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. He won't. Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaken. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause He's never let me down. He's faithful through generations, so why would He fail now? He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. He won't. And rain came, wind blew, but my house was built on you, and I'm safe with you. I'm going to make it through. Rain came, wind blew, but my house was built on you, and I'm safe with you. I'm going to make it through. Rain came, wind blew, my house was built on you, and I'm safe with you. I'm going to make it through. I'm going to make it through, 'cause I'm standing strong on you. I'm going to make it through, 'cause my house is built on you. Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaken. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause He's never let me down. He's faithful through generations, so why would He fail now? He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail. He working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here. You're moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here. You're working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here. You're turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here. You're mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. Let's have a seat.
Have you ever walked into a room for a specific reason, then when you get there, you forgot what your purpose was? Okay, it's not just me. Okay, good. Because I do that more than I care to admit. I'm like, what was I doing here? Or I'm like in the fridge. I'm like, I don't even know why I was there. But I go in there, and the more you think about it, the more you're not going to remember that. Now, you go on with your day, right, and something will trigger your brain, and you're like, oh, that's what it was for. That was 2 hours ago. But I do that all the time. I feel like a big dummy. But, hey, you guys are with me, so we're all dummies together. Sometimes we do that in life, too, you know, is that we have a purpose, we have a goal, we have a mission, we have a vision for life. And sometimes as life goes, that seems to get blurry, or we just completely lose sight of it and forget completely. Either way is dangerous, because it means we find ourselves going through these motions every day, just getting through life, completing tasks, just getting by, right? That's what it ultimately means. And it doesn't connect with anything bigger, any bigger purpose. And so today, as we continue our series From Paper to Person, it's simple. We just want to see Jesus. This ancient book that we have, these words that have been recorded from Jesus from over 2,000 years ago, tell these stories of these people. It's not just words on a page. It's someone who is still alive. It's something that still impacts our lives today, still is relevant for us today. So we're going to be in John chapter 9. We're going to see this encounter with Jesus as someone who, well, they needed to find their purpose. I think it's going to resonate with us. This is becoming one of my favorite stories of Jesus in the scriptures. So John 9, we see that Jesus is on the move again. In verse 1, it says, as he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Now, we have this guy, we don't really know anything about him except he's been blind his whole life. Like, that's literally all we know about him. Therefore, this man was an outcast. That's what that meant in that time period. It meant that you were, historically speaking, our culture has come a long, long way of including people with different disabilities, right, or different abilities. There's whole industries and whole agencies that we have today in our cultures that help people with disabilities that they can live as freely as possible, and that's a great thing, right? Now, in Jesus' day, things were not like that. This man who had been blind for his whole life, man, essentially his life was just relegated to just get by. That was his purpose. He could beg, right? So oftentimes loved ones would set people like that in a very populated place or near the temple where people were feeling generous, or on the street corner in a market where lots of people would pass them by. But that's it. He was completely dependent upon everyone else for anything that was going to happen. And so that was his lot in life. His purpose was just to get by. His purpose was about as big as living in survival mode and begging. Now, I think a lot of people can resonate with this guy, not because you're blind, but because it's so easy for us to slide into this mindset of we just get by, right? Like every day and every week and months pass by, and before we know it, we're just going through actions. And our purpose is in life is one of those things that gives us value. It's one of those things that give us meaning. And so when we look at our life and we realize that we're not where the younger version of ourselves thought we would be, we question ourselves, what's my purpose? What's the point of all this? What's the point? And so we flock from one thing to the next, and we try to fill that gap in our life with all sorts of things while we're trying to find purpose in the things that we do. Maybe for us, we try to find our purpose in like just live for the weekend, right? Friday, or maybe we want just bigger success. If I can have more or better, maybe I can buy more stuff. Maybe we try to find our purpose in our family and other people or sports. Maybe it's through thrills. Maybe it's just one more drink, right? And so when we're connecting with an overarching purpose, man, if we don't have that, we'll look anything, and we'll look everywhere to find that. So I don't know where you're at with the sense of purpose, right? But we get back to this question that the disciples asked Jesus. Who sinned? Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? I mean, that is talking about kicking a man when he's down, right? Like, dang, dude's already blind, he's already begging, and they're like, hey, what did he do, Jesus? Here's a popular belief that they had at that time, is that a lot of rabbis would teach that if something bad happened to you, the common thought of the day was it was because of sin in your life. So like, if there was sickness or a physical deformity or there was suffering, it was a direct result of personal sin. So for this man that was born blind, well, they were genuinely asking, hey, was it because of his sin or was it because of his parents' sin? See, that's also a belief that they had as well. Now, sometimes we're tempted to think this today too in some instances, and it keeps, if things keep going bad, you probably have said at some point, what am I doing wrong? Have you thought that? I think it's natural, right? It's natural for us to think that, like, or why does this always happen to me? When bad things happen, we often tend to point inwards in that, and here Jesus refutes that thinking. Like, bad things do occur because sin. Like